Kronika's power was mine to share with the tribe. In the new timeline I built, Tarkatans would be slaves no more. We would rule. We easily took India, then Outworld and the Nether Realm. Last we challenged Earth Realm in Mortal Kombat. Within 1,000 years, all realms fell to Tarkatan Blade. And we have not run out of meat since.
Baraka wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
I held the power to shape time and destiny, but I was lost. Which Khan should be restored? My lover, Kotal, or my loyal friend, Kitana? I heard Kotal's voice call out to me, follow your heart, Jade. So I let my heart lead, and it took me to an unexpected place. A faint memory of homeland. My mother. I restored my parents and India, building a new era without Shao Kahn. And what a happy childhood I enjoyed. But as I matured, I sensed that I was no ordinary child. Kronika's powered well within me, calling me to a higher purpose. When I came of age, I ascended to godhood as the protector of India. Armed with the knowledge of past timelines, I challenged Shinnok and Cetrion. Without Kronika's children pitting the realms against each other, all could be at peace. And remain so, under my watchful eyes.
All I wanted was to fix my life. Now I have the power to fix history. Raiden warns me, I can't fix everything. Change too much and I could lose Vera. Lose Jackie. But this power's bigger than us. If I think only about helping myself, what kind of officer am I? What kind of man? I've been lucky. My family and I have lived the American dream. But most people who look like me haven't had that chance. I owe it to them to put things right. And I'm not waiting centuries for people to get woke, when I've got the power to speed things up. I don't get it right the first time. Or the second. Or even the third. But eventually, I knock it out of the damn park. My family's back. The world's a better place for everyone. Turns out you can have everything. Anyone who says you can't, needs to dream bigger.
This whole adventure? Capital I insane. I marry Sonya. Have a kid who actually likes me? Inquiring minds want to know how the hell that happens. So I get the hourglass to show me how kicking Shinnok's ass, which I did beautifully, turned me from Hollywood megastar into global icon. So far, so good. Until I let that fame screw me up. Didn't hit rock bottom until I saw just how badly I let down my little girl. I finally got what old man me was saying about needing humility and maturity. But I also knew I couldn't get there without living the same life he did. So I raced toward the timeline, just as it was. With one tiny little difference. Sonya's story won't end underneath the rubble of some busted-up NetherRealm castle. Because Johnny Cage flicks always have happy endings. Shit sounds cool, right? The power to control time. Immortality. Destiny. Well, let me tell ya, this job sucks. There's no pay, no weekends, and your shift lasts forever. The only smart play is to turn back time and give it back to Kronika. Bet your ass she's grateful, too. I didn't ask for much. Just a chance to take out anyone who's ever tried to burn me. Black Dragon was always more a gig than a brotherhood, anyway. Now I get to live large, enjoying the simple life of a well-to-do family man. And if Shao Kahn or Shinnok ever come knocking, my family and I'll take 'em down. Just like I took down Shinnok's mom.
I've cut a lot of deals, but none spiffier than this. I spared Kronika and she gave up the hourglass. The power to shape time and history to my liking? Oh ho ho. Fuck yeah. I set it up so everything came up aces, every desire, every wish, every whim I ever had. Done and done. But I realized pretty quick I'd suck the fun out of everything. Without a fight, winning was worthless. Nah, the fun wasn't in the having, it was in the getting. So I changed things up one more time. Now what I want is always just out of reach, I gotta earn it. I score lots of wins, but no always. And when I do win, evil chuckle, it's something to savor.
As I gazed upon the hourglass, I knew what I must do. Restore my homeland, Idnia, to existence. Experiencing Idnia's verdant land for the first time. I've never felt such joy. But that joy was short-lived. Idnia's traditions, its languages, its culture. All were completely foreign, having been forbidden to me by Shao Kahn. I fit in with my people no better than a Tarkatan. The truth was hard. Though Idnian by blood, I am not an Idnian. I am an Outworlder. Not only that, I am Outworld's Khan. I will use ancient Idnian teachings to make myself a better sovereign. With them, I will fulfill my life's mission to better all of Outworld's people, including Idnia.
Of course I defeated Kronika. And when I did, there was only one thing wanted to do with the hourglass. Undo the defeat of my ancestor, the Great Kung Lao. In my timeline, the Great Kung Lao is the undisputed Mortal Kombat champion. Earthrealm never loses another tournament. For generations, his example inspires millions to join the White Lotus Society and defend Earthrealm. They in turn inspire rebels to overthrow Shao Kahn in Outworld. The realm makes peace. Until, inevitably, a more powerful enemy comes along, and finds Earthrealm backed by Kung Lao, immortal Lord of Time and Warrior Supreme. Be that, Liu Kang.
What does it mean to wield the sands of time? To be the chosen one? It means making choices that break your heart. For the protection of all, I shared Kronika's power with the people I trust and loved most. Together we replaced the elder gods that Cetrian had betrayed, and became eternal guardians of the realms. Still, my heart longs for a simple life. The kind one cannot have being the chosen one, let alone an elder god. What Katana and I would not give for those simple pleasures. Perhaps in another timeline, they could be ours. Before I was Night Elf, I was a fool named Grey Cloud. Born into poverty, I resented my ancestors for giving up our future to colonizers. Kano offered a way out, promising riches if I stole the tribe's most sacred relics. I was sorely tempted, but then I realized that by saving myself, I'd be surrendering the last of my people's dignity. For the first time, I defended the Matoka's pride. Kano was unimpressed. But as I lay dying, the Great Spirit came to me. By rejecting Kano, I had proven worthy of an ancient honor. The mantle of Night Elf. Legendary defender of the Matoka. Now, as I inherit Kronika's mantle, the way before me is split. The Keeper of Time cannot also be my tribe's defender. Which path do I choose? Even here, at time's beginning, the Great Spirit's wisdom guides me. She calls me to restore history. The Matoka, I must leave to another. To the next Night Elf. Like all our sacred relics, the Night Elf mantle belongs to the tribe. Any Matokan can prove worthy of its power. I enjoy imagining who will defend us next.
Kronika said I would lead the new era's deadliest clan. But she made such promises to many. She could never keep them all. So I betrayed her, before she could betray me. When Kronika's sands fused with my shadows, my ambitions grew. Why be ruler of mortals, when I could rule destiny itself? Mortals resisted, but could not stop, my blanketing history in cold, endless night. All is dark. All are shadows. I have had many names. Now I am become Death, destroyer of worlds.
Kronika had manipulated me. In timeline after timeline, she stoked my anger and fed my arrogance, turning me against Liu Kang. My nose rubbed in my own fallibility. I was humbled. How could I be worthy to accept the mantle as Keeper of Time? I thought to control time and destiny fairly, I must purge myself of all human emotion. Summoning the strongest magic, I burned away my fear and anger. All that remained was pure logic. But I learned quickly that the logical choice is often not the just choice. Unless tempered by compassion and heart, logic leads to decisions no better than those based on anger or fear. Now I am once more at time's beginning. But on this journey through history, I will infuse logic with love. In this timeline, I will finally achieve peace for the citizens of all realms.
I made my future self a promise, that I would not stay mired in the past. But once I controlled the hourglass, I could not keep that promise. I had to restore my family. Over and over I crafted the sands of time. Yet in every new timeline my family's tragedy repeated. I was powerless to change it. After eons, I learned the truth. Kronika was not alone. She was one of many titans, each more powerful and ancient than the elder gods. It is they who conspire against us. Myself, my family. We are pawns in their game. Why? I do not know. But I will find out. And then, I will have vengeance.
Scorpion wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
Kronika's power overwhelmed me, such that I would have been driven mad, had I not spent centuries mastering the dark powers beyond the grasp of ordinary mortals. Now I am the master of time and fate. But Kronika's fall proves that even titans can be defeated. Though my power lets me roam infinite timelines and feast upon the souls of billions, I am vulnerable. To survive, I must return to the shadows, avoid confrontation, and work my will through the hands of others. More specifically, through the hands of my fellow titans. These monstrous beings are plied easily by appealing their greed, vanity, and fear. Through them, every soul of eternity bends to my influence. In my new era, morality will be exposed as the illusion it is. The cunning will prosper while the good suffer. This is the word of Shang. Have a nice day. I conquered history like I conquered realms, merging billions of potential timelines into a singularity. The universe has been remade in my image and all is as it should be. The weak serve the strong. The strong compete for power, wealth, and my favor in mortal combat. For centuries, the tournament's champion has gone undefeated. That champion is me. Hail the conqueror. Hail Shao Kahn.
Fatality.
In the beginning, Shao Kahn invaded Idnia, murdered my husband, Jared, and forced me to be his bride. That's the story, but it's a lie. One night old, lest I lose the faith of my subjects, or of my daughter, Katana. The truth? Jared was weak. Destined to fail. By betraying him, I gained a better lover and the ultimate weapon. A conqueror to unite all realms and put them at my beck and call. Then Kronika upended history, and I found myself confronting a future in which I'd been dead for centuries. My so-called family had failed me in every way. Katana broke my heart worst. Instead of uniting the realms, she sought to liberate them. As if the wasteland's savages could ever be more than serfs. Ever the caring mother, I had to discipline my little princess. And after that, I had to discipline the Titan. Now I have defeated Kronika. Outgrown Shao Kahn and Katana. I have no more family. No more rivals. No more gods. I sit above them all, on a throne that unites all realms. And all realities. Whoever you are, wherever you are, when you are before me, kneel. For I am Sentinel, Empress of Time, and you exist only to serve me.
All of his daughters, Shao Kahn made me deadliest. He pulled me from the gutter, bound me to the blood code, made me fight for recognition. Perhaps he will commend me ... when I bind the blood code to the sands of time. Now a blood god, I demand more than Shao Kahn's recognition. I demand worship. I'll have temples, ministers, acolytes, prayers ... and sacrifices. Rivers of blood, shed in my name, purging heretics who dare reject me. Laughing evilly and maniacally, how proud Shao Kahn is now. How proud ... and obedient. For the only thing better than my master's recognition, is to make him beg for mine. All will worship me ... or there will be blood.
None of us saw Kronika coming. Not even Raiden. But with the hourglass, I can see every terror in the realms. Any sane person would run screaming at the sight of them. It's my duty to take out these ancient, all-powerful beings. But to do that, I need an elite squad of immortal god. Turns out to make a new god, you've got to destroy an old one. So I hunt the oldest I can find, an omni-deity from a forgotten, unpronounceably named realm. It's the fight of my life. But I've got something this god doesn't, family. In my past, these were the people who mattered most. Now, they're my god squad. My daughter, my brother in arms, my goddaughter. Yep, even Johnny. But only because Cassie insisted. And maybe I missed him a little. Just don't let him know that.
Once I gained the hourglass, my first thought was to rewrite history and redeem the Lin Kuei's honor. But then I thought of Bai Han, his life consumed by evil. Before I could redeem my clan, I had to redeem my brother. With the hourglass, I wound back in time to our childhood. I studied every second of Bai Han's life to understand why. Why he embraced Sector's corruption. Why he reveled in the vile power given to him by Quan Chi. Armed with that knowledge, I resculpted the sands of time. I changed Bai Han's life and unfroze his heart. Now we are comrades, not rivals. Together as joint grandmasters, we lead the Lin Kuei in defense of Earth Realm.
Sub-Zero wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.